Speaker, that wasn't the question. We've heard the Prime Minister's very carefully scripted, legalistic answer. But the question is, did anyone in the Prime Minister's office at any time communicate with anyone in the former Attorney General's office on the matter of the criminal prosecution of FNC Lavalin? Yes or no?
Hear, hear.
Justice.
Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister has said earlier today, these allegations are false.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
That wasn't the question, Mr. Speaker. The question was whether or not anyone in the Prime Minister's office at any time had communications with anyone in the former Attorney General's office on the subject matter of the criminal prosecution of FNC Lavalin. This is a yes or no answer. Which is it?
Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, I'll repeat once again, as the Prime Minister has said earlier today, these allegations in the Globe and Mail are false.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Again, he can't answer a simple yes or no question. So I'll ask him a slightly different question. According to the lobbyist registrar, SNC Lavalin lobbied this government dozens of times. In those meetings with senior officials, did the subject of their criminal prosecution ever come up? Yes or no?
Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't privy to those conversations. As the Prime Minister has said earlier today, these allegations are false.
Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, since the Prime Minister can't answer these questions, I'll answer part of that for him. At least 14 times, according to the lobbyist registrar, meetings with SNC Lavalin touched on the subjects of, quote, justice and, quote, law enforcement. In those meetings where justice and law enforcement were brought up, were the subject matters dealing with the criminal prosecution of FNC Lavalin ever touched upon, yes or no?
The Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister outlined today, he has not given directives to either my predecessor or myself on this matter.
Well, Mr. Speaker, he might not have been, quote, directed to, but he was certainly promoted based on his willingness to go along with the PMO on this. Mr. Speaker, the new Attorney General is trying to hide behind the Prime Minister's carefully scripted legal response this morning. But the question is quite simple. It's direct about dealings on the criminal prosecution of SNC Lavalin. I'll ask the Attorney General again. Was he ever contacted by anyone in the Prime Minister's office about this case before he was promoted to the position of Attorney General?
Honourable Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, as I have said, I have received neither pressure nor direction from either the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister's office with respect to the decision that could be made in this particular file. Mr. Speaker, as a Quebec Member of Parliament who reads the newspapers, I did know about this case, but it does not transfer into my role as Attorney General.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the question wasn't about the Prime Minister's carefully vetted answer this morning. The question was about himself. Yes, he may have been aware of this case, but the question is very specific. Was he ever contacted by anyone in the PMO about the criminal prosecution of SNC Lavalin before he was named to his new post of Attorney General? Did those conversations happen, yes or no?
Hear, hear.
The Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, the answer is no.
Of the Opposition.
Perhaps the former Attorney General can shed some light on this issue. It's quite clear that we are seeing the beginnings of a cover-up here. The former Attorney General prided herself on speaking truth to power. She spoke truth to power behind closed doors, and the Prime Minister fired her. Will she now speak truth to power in front of all Canadians and confirm whether or not she received any communication from the Prime Minister's office regarding the criminal prosecution of SNC-Lavalin, yes or no?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister said earlier today, neither my predecessor nor myself has received directives with respect to the dealing of this particular case. As Attorney General for Canada, Mr. Speaker, I take my responsibilities to give advice in the public interest to the government very seriously. I will continue to do so.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, that question was for the former Attorney General. It's clear that this Prime Minister has fired her, and now he is silencing her.
That's right.
Why won't he allow her to answer the question as to whether or not she received any communications between the Prime Minister's office and her own regarding the criminal prosecution of SNC-Lavalin? Did those conversations happen, yes or no?
Honourable Minister of Justice.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister dealt with this matter very clearly earlier today, and he stated that neither he nor anyone in his office pressured my predecessor or myself to come to any particular decision in this matter. Mr. Speaker, as the Prime Minister stated earlier today, the allegations contained in the Globe and Mail article are false.